Good morning, everybody. Hope we're having a great Friday. Oh, I'm, I'm sleepy today. Oh, move that over there so that I can. Yay! Now we can see all the comments. Let's grab some. Oh, I guess. And nothing extremely. Yeah. Oh, all right. Send it out. Do. Everybody gets a link to the clip. All right. Well, before we get started doing some painting, I am going. How did I do that? Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so. I'm gonna grab an energy drink. I had some of this tequila last night. And you know what? We're gonna do a shot of tequila. We're gonna do a shot of tequila. Oh, uh, we need some hair of the dog. Little tequila and a little painting at 8 a.m. in the morning. Cheers, everybody. Ah, ah. A little tequila to get us over that hair of the dog feeling. Oh, how's everybody's Friday going? Oh, that woke me up. Ooh, nothing like a little tequila to get you going in the morning. Oh, all right, everybody. So I've been working on some flawless blades. I just had to grab my tray. Doing some. Oh, where are you guys? Just there we go. And then I'm also gonna need to. Let's see. How about that? There we go. Cases, in case we got anything we want to talk about today. How are we feeling about all the new Orc Codex stuff? I'm genuinely excited for it. I think it's going to be really cool. I think the orcs are going to get some really fun stuff. Um, I think the thing that I'm more concerned about is how they're going to handle like the speed of getting everything else out. Because with the orcs getting such cool stuff, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun for them. But I'm also just worried about the power creep of it all, where it's like you also don't want to make something where then in 6 months, or even probably even sooner, in a couple of weeks, you know, they ended up just nerfing the orcs because of what they can do that other people can't. And it's that kind of annoying thing of like, well, we want the orcs to have this fun tool set because we all want to have a fun tool set. And then if we don't really get that tool set out in a good time, then the balance of it is going to be weird. So I hope that they'll do the right thing and start trying to make sure at least some of that starts coming out for everybody else a little bit. Who knows? What do you guys think about that? I'm also surprised that they're canceling live shows because I know that they were supposed to do a reveal show this weekend because there's the opens going on, and they were supposed to do a reveal show today, and they didn't do one, which is very weird. I also watched a video by Chaos Lord Beard recently. If you guys don't know him, he's the dude that does a lot of kit bashes for tabletop tactics and used to. He just recently left to go do his own thing. Um, and he just put out a video saying some very similar sentiments to what I've been saying, which is why are we like slowing down? Make sure that you guys can see. So why are we slowing down when it comes to 40K news and releases when it's like this is the time to put on the gas pedal to get everybody even more excited? I'm not sure. But it's funny that like you have people who have this we're all thinking kind of the same thing. So I hope that this is an indication that they're going to try and basically go, okay, we need to do more, hopefully. But you can always hope and it might not work out, but it is pure stated here soon telling me to move to bolt action. Surprised that hasn't popped up yet. I think it'll be cool. I'm bringing these 18 flawless blades for an RTT tomorrow. Um, and the reason why I'm doing this to myself is all of these guys are actually in not a horrible state, but they were decently painted. Is that I recently painted up some of my Terminators because I'm doing 18 flawless blades in this list, 3 winged demon princes, and a Mauler Fiend, a unit of what's it called? Uh, Chaos Terminators, and Lucius leading some blades. Give him that nice killing power. Just send him out there to murderize. And I did my Terminators in this really sick scheme. I don't know if I made all my infantry look this cool. So like, this is what the Terminators look like. Oh, that's so sick. Look at that. Kind of trying to be like a silvery blue steel. Um, Kind of came out almost frost-like, which is also kind of cool. So I'm gonna try and figure something out for this over here, for this like these guys. And I will probably end up doing something a little bit more gray than blue this time. But I was like, they look so cool. I need to do my flawless plates this way. So I'm getting some non-metallic metal. So once I get all of the like layers of the gold, it should look more like this. Nice gold on there. It's something I like about non-metallic metal. I haven't been doing it for very long, and I will be completely real. I'm still not great at it. Even the ones that I do are very much like it looked very cool for like battle A and tabletop. But if you were like, I'm gonna put this in a painting competition, it would be very much of like, where's the light supposed to be coming from? I'm like everywhere. the lights from everywhere, and so that's something that I want to work on next. Just to kind of give these guys this uh, al- almost like otherworldly shine to the metal. It's just kind of fun. I'm not worried about all that. I'm just doing it. You needed to be setting your audio. Thank you. Oh, that's all right. Trying to figure out which guys. Just having to do this as a one by one process. I'm almost done with the highlights or the main gold body, I guess. Gotta turn these Discord notifications off. Oh my god, they're making so much stupid noise. Dang. I literally just turned off all the notifications. How is it still making sounds? You gotta be kidding me. All right, I'm just gonna have to log out of Discord. Beeping every freaking 3 minutes. Oh my god. And it's like the worst beeping too. Like, like it's the worst notification ever. Discord is the worst notification ever. Sound. It sounds so bad. Cool. There we go. One at a time. One at a time. All out here. gonna have a horrible amount left to do. We have 5 left to do in this normal ground pattern, and then we're gonna have about 18 to do with light gold. Yay! Oh, this is kicking my butt. Shouldn't have had so much tequila last night. How's everybody's projects going? Is anybody working on anything super fun? I'm taking sips. My back hurt a little bit. Oh, ugh, my bones, my little baby bones. What is so? Anybody in the comments? What is your least exciting favorite thing about this new orc mode? There, everyone is excited for the orc codex. No, I think I'm excited for the soft cover codexes. I'm very excited for the soft cover codexes. I think it's going to be nice. I'm excited that they've said that there's going to be 100 pages of lore for the orc codex, which probably won't be the same for everybody. That it's a lot more than we got last time. I just hope that when they say it's 100 pages of lore, it's not because the book got smaller, because the book did get smaller. It got slightly smaller. One word per page. There are orcs. Orcs are mean. Orcs mean hit other orcs. Orc happy that orc hit other orcs because orcs want to be hit. The end. Nazgul is best boss. Exactly how that should go. I'm excited for that. I think the psychic rules for orcs look very fun. And I think it shows that they're kind of doing the psychic stuff in a really good way. And I think that is something that I'm very excited about. Is I'm very excited for psychic to going back to being like a fun thing. I'm very excited about it because I just want wizard battles. I want wizard battles back. Where are we? I just want wizard battles back. That's all I want. Just give me wizard battles. I want to fight a wizard against a wizard. I want to do cast off. I want to do all the weird stuff that a wizard could do in 40K, and I want there to be reasons to bring wizards in your faction if you have them, because there's just like I have a list that I've made that's like an offshoot of the one I'm bringing tomorrow, where I remove the Defiler and put Pilgrimage, which is not worth it normally. But for a fun list, it might be something fun to do, just like almost like a speed rush when it comes to Flawless Blades, Winged Demon Princes, and Fulgrim. And the big thing about that list is I can fit a sorcerer in there for 5 points to just sit on my home objective and do bullshit. And it's like, ooh, I can fit a sorcerer in this list, and it's not bad at all. I even have like I think 10 points over if I wanted to. If hopefully that's all it took to level up the wizard. Because I'm just sitting here being like, yes, give me wizard powers. Let me channel the warp. Like let me be the bad guy that I want to be, which is super hedonistic wizard people, the wizard cult. But no, I think it's going to be cool. I think giving everybody except for certain factions that should have like a different version of the system, but it's like gnolls and custodies, right? Shouldn't have psychic, quote unquote, but it should essentially be psychic, but a different term, where it's like it's psychic, the keyword, but it's on the gnolls, and it's like null powers. You can deny other people. Oh, that would actually be cool that the custodies actually get to like they have to get pretty close to do it, maybe within like 18 or something. But if they're 18 inches of within your wizard or 12 inches within your wizard, they can do a counter spell. I think a counter spell could be pretty fun and cool. Um, it might be something where they make it really difficult, like you have to exceed the roll that your enemy caster made. But it would be fun. It would give something for custodies and dolls and stuff like that. So I'm excited. That's what I'm more excited about. I'm more excited about how these psychic rules are going to translate into the castings and things like that, because I think those are going to be extremely fun. And I want those rules for everybody. I think the best I think the best example of how we're going to see it fast is when the codex for Space Marines come out, which should be the next codex. Uh, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna be completely real. I know Balrak is talking about the fact that there was supposed to be a codex announcement, right? There was supposed to be there were or not, maybe not a codex announcement, but there was supposed to be a reveal show today, and they're just not doing it. They just canceled. Like they unceremoniously canceled this show just because I think they just didn't. I don't know. Who knows? Like it feels weird. It feels like something bad is going on behind the scenes, where it's like they may have messed up or something, and now we're seeing the kind of like scrambling of them trying to like fix something before anybody notices. Maybe they're not doing it because of work. Maybe they're struggling internally to find the person who's leaking every codex. Because personally, it's either that or it's a strategy. Like the codex leaks are they have to be some sort of strategy. Every codex since Eldar has been leaked in its entirety at the same time before it gets literally sold. Come on, like at the same time, the same picture quality, the same like it's absolutely a psyop. It's a plan. Like GW has leaked every 40K code. Come on. Either that or they're really messed up. Like, I don't think it is, though. I think it's a whole marketing scheme. Why do you think they canceled the reveal show? I think it was because they were going to show off something in Space Marine Codex. And I think they know that people are going to be mad. So I think that I think they're trying to wait as long as they can before pissing people off with space. But I think one they're going to announce it. I think they're going to announce that Oath is going away with the new rules. We already kind of know, but I don't think they want to officially say it before having a handle on like how everything plays. Because I wonder if maybe they pulled it because they were gonna announce some rules and stuff for Codex Space Marines, but they played it and it's too broken. Maybe they were like actually doing the right thing for once and going, actually, we're not going to announce this yet until we fix these rules because we've made Space Marines disgustingly broken. Maybe it is the T5, right? This is the kind of the big problem with it is it's like, well, you guys have the chance to jump in front of the speculation, but now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm thinking about what's going on, and the rest of us are too. Kind of goofy how they've done it, but anyway, it's GW. When do they not do stuff that's stupid? It's true. This hobby, I feel like I've seen GW do more dumb things than I have smart things. But that's okay. I will say, no matter what, I prefer GW's way of doing things over Wizards of the Coast any time of the day. Ever. At least with these Codex leagues, like, it's just kind of, they act like it's just kind of annoying. I swear, I mean, like, we would all have to take the Tinson after us if this was Wizards of the Coast. Anybody who saw the Codex is going to have to get deleted from this system. Okay, well, that was all of us. So, goodbye. So, I will say, as much as I complain about GW, they're now Wizards of the Coast. Oh, God, Fall's Blade are so cool. This is one of my favorite models in the entirety of the game. Not this model specifically, but the unit. Not this guy specifically. Okay, not this one. This one's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my guy right there. Look at that. Look at that sexy, swaggy man. He's got swag. Okay. Look at that face. He looks like he's gonna eat your children. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this guy's super cool. I like this sculpt. Actually, I like the head sculpt off of this guy so much that I took it and put it on a Lord of Colton. And I'm gonna keep doing it as long as I have extra ones of those heads, which I have plenty. But as somebody with long hair who also plays EC, I'm like, yes, thank you. Now I have a monster that I can represent as myself. is that they give you a set of these hand and a half swords, and they give you a set of these little mini swords. It's like almost like the same size as the infractor swords. And funny enough, uh, there's not two separate like data sheets for them. So I'm wondering if at a certain point when the EC codex drops, that the Flawless Blades might either get two weapon options or they'll switch into two different data sheets and have two versions of them. Maybe a anti-monster vehicle one like the ones we have now, and ones that are more infantry and so get like cleave or something. Um, to answer your question, can the guys with the Vox grills in their mouths eat anything? In all honesty, I don't know, actually. I think, from what I've seen is that some of the guys with the box grills in their mouths have, like, the ability to either, like, have, like, a separate feeding system where it's, like, a connected, like, thing where it's, like, it opens up and it eats right, or they eat paste because the Space Marines don't really care about eating paste, um, but it's not something that's ever really discussed in the novel that I remember or I know of, but it is very much noted that, yes, they do still eat. Do I know how they drink smoothies through straws, like, that's honestly probably how they do eat, but also it is a Space Marine, so as long as it's, like, wine flavored, they don't care, right? Oh, they're great. Note to the wise, note to self, note to the wise, note to everyone, don't drink tequila after having to paint before having to paint 18 flower blades, it sucks. Yeah, so they don't really ever discuss how the Emperor's Children with the boxes do other things besides they do love to describe how it sounds when they do talk and things like pop and hiss and like the worst noises you've ever heard. I think so. I do like how it is weird with some of the Flawless Blades heads where you look at them and you're like, it does look like almost two people designed this, right? Where it's like somebody somebody basically had a pitch to their manager, right? And it was two people working on Lucius the Eternal, and there was one guy who did the new Lucius head, which I think is amazing. And then there's some guy who did this with some pets, and they were like, put him on the Flawless Blades. Because this is such a funny, like, that's Lucius right there. Like, that is how I've seen a lot of people kit bash Lucius the Eternal is with, like, one of these guys. And it always makes me crack up and laugh whenever I see it because it just looks like it's the alternate head for Lucius the Eternal, and I love that they did that. I love that they did that. Yeah, I hope the Psyker level stuff is cool for everybody else. I saw some crazy stuff with the leaks when it came to some of their like transports. I can't remember if it was the Killer Rig. I don't know. It's whichever one gets the War Tower. And I saw that your transport can then cast a spell where when you disembark from that transport, the thing that disembarks actually gets a +1 to wound, which I thought was cool. I will say I hope as we get new codex, the casting skills get a little bit more complicated as it goes along. Because I will say, I think most of the orc abilities were like on a D6, you just don't get a 1. And that's one of those things where it's like, cool, but give me some risk of failing. Like I'd like my wizard to have to like try and cast a spell, but who knows? Maybe the on a 2 will be fine. I know Sada doesn't like the 2s, but he's not here. Uh, see. Honestly, this is actually a good time if anybody has any lore questions about EC that I can try and answer. I'm sure there's not many questions, but if you do have a question, I probably know the answer. I know a lot about EC lore. I know a lot. If you have any questions, fire away. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep vibing and painting. We might be able to make something worth that. Right after oh, what armies are y'all looking forward to getting psychic rules for them? I'm excited to see, honestly, an army that is doing really good right now and probably could use a nerf, but is one that I play and that I really want to see the psychic rules because they're going to be interesting. Space Wolves. Space Wolves have really interesting psychic mechanics just because of their rune priests, which also psychic mechanics are coming back. I bet my butt that we're going to get a rune priest model in a rune priest data sheet because I know that there's the librarians, but if the librarians are going to have specific spells, Space Marines, that's where you get the rune priest. You have a rune priest do uh, what's it called? The like Fenrisian magic. Because we already have the wolf priest, right, which is like our chaplain, but we don't have uh, our rune priest anymore. And because the only rune priest we have is Njal Stormcaller, who is still awesome and badass. I still want to play them with the Grey Hunters list because you can give Njal can cast a spell that allows him to auto advance 6, which is sick. I think in general it'll be interesting how they treat factions that are psyker heavy versus those that have psykers that aren't the key focus of the faction. Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because 'cause we're seeing that with orcs where it's like orcs are a weirdly very psychic faction, but, like, in the most, like, this is not the main part of the faction kind of way. Because even in lore, right, they're not super psychic heavy, but they do have weird boys, and they do have really strong psychic powers that they just don't really have, like, complete and full access to compared to, like, a Thousand Sun Sorcerer or a Grey Knight, where those guys are more like actual wizards and wizard monks, or like warrior wizards, even in the case of the Grey Knights. And I agree. I think that's going to be really interesting. I think Eldar is also going to be an interesting one because I think that you have an avenue now with Fate dice to come back. I know I already am eliciting screams in the comments for me saying that maybe this is a good way for Fate dice to come back in some way for Eldar. Because like sisters don't have psychers, right? They have miracles. And that's the thing with like the psyker system is that even though, you know, like you could basically just write a sub rule for like sisters or other factions that just don't have psychers, right? And be like, hey, instead of doing psychic for your faction, you're gonna do this. It's essentially the psychic keyword for you, right? So like sisters could be like miracles or something. Or it's like you have blessed, saints. You have the saint keyword and you can perform miracles if you have the saint keyword, right? Where it's like, hey, if you have saint in your keyword, it's psyker. It's the psyker keyword, but it's for this system of performing miracles. And you could do like a chant roll and do that and have like, because I know they have like a difference between priests and wizards in AOS, but it's also one of those systems where when you read the system, it doesn't seem to be too different when it comes to casting. It seems like casting happens in a similar manner where it might be just like, it's just a different number you're trying to read, but it's still cast in the same way as a psychic spell. So I think they have an entire avenue of being able to say like, well, even though you're not a psyker heavy faction, we can kind of turn you into a psyker heavy faction and give everyone a psyker unit if we're willing to kind of like modify what we want to call a psyker in this system or just say like other things. It's like I was talking with the custodians and the gnolls, right? Like you could do that same system for a null and be like, the null does this, right? Like I think counter spells for a null stereotype would be a very fun archetype for that like class system, right? That would then draw people towards why to play that army, right? Because in 10th edition it was all about play style. Now it feels like what they're trying to accomplish is a mix of play style and flavor. How do we maximize the flavor that emphasizes this play style? Like orcs having a lot of things where it's movement and getting strong as they like walk. That's very orcs, but it also goes back to their play style of like being a fast melee army that doesn't want to really shoot, but wants to get into combat and do all those things. And that's kind of what like the psychic powers help out. Is those things that want to get into combat. Those melee boys, right? Like even like the stuff that the weird boy gets to do is all based off of melee. It feels like or move, which is like cool. I don't see anything where it's like plus one to shooting or ignores cover or something like that. It's like Mechanicus could do like cool. Their priests are gonna do a Mechanicus like hacking roll or something like that, you know. But it's like it's the same system because that's the thing. You don't have to change the system. You just change what it's called in each army. And like Space Wolves have a little sub rule for the Curse of the Wolf, and it's like, hey, if you're a Wolfen or if you're a Space Wolf, like literal wolf unit, follow these rules when it comes to OC and objective. right? And you go and you reference those rules, and what it says is, hey, if you're a space wolf, wolfen, or if you're like a literal Fenrir wolf, you're going to have to be within 6 inches of a character for you to have any effect, right? And it's like, oh, okay. And it's just that little sub rule that they added to all of the little things that they could add and say, like, hey, you have the psychic keyword, but you're this for flavor, and you go away based off of these rules. Like maybe it's like, okay, if you're a sister, you get an extra dice for casting or something, right? Or like Thousand Suns, maybe one of their army rules is like get an extra dice while rolling your spells or something. I don't know. Maybe a free rule. Probably not real. But I think that could be really interesting when it comes down to how the second rules work, because it feels more like it makes it feel a little bit more customizable. Where it's like I thought it was going to be going back to the like almost like the actual getting to like select certain spells and do stuff. But it's probably not that. But I do like the fact that it's like, well, there's a reason now to bring in Psyker, and that's something that makes me excited because I want to bring Psyker to my list. I want to do stuff. And right now, I'm just not encouraged to. But this point, you still in a decent state. At least get the gold done by tomorrow. I can maybe like painting art. I'm trying to level up my painting skills and level up my paint competition and stuff because I just checked and I am 70th in the United States for ITC hobby track record. I went, oh, that's cool. So I'm gonna try and get crazy. Start painting these guys like it's not like a like well, but uh-huh. Are you guys excited for the new update? Hopefully coming tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow should be when, because it was the 22nd that it dropped. Well, not tomorrow. It should be. Uh, oh, it is the 21st today. Yeah, it should be tomorrow. It was the 22nd. I was like, why am I getting the news? Is there anything that you guys think needs to be addressed in the new data slate? I'm glad I submitted my list before. Emma, you should submit your list, by the way. Unless you want to practice it first. But I'm excited to play new stuff, hopefully. I think the demons in EC are going to get nerfed tomorrow. I'm excited for you to paint up my yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen soon. You need to get that printed. Probably after we play. Probably after we play. I do have one custodian painted up. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, my legs. Oh, my little legs. Oh, here's this guy. I need to go back and I need to readjust him, but I'm gonna Dad, I'm gonna get you a non-metal metal force. I'm gonna do what I'm doing for that guy. So this is a blade champion. This is one of your solo characters. This is the dude that you were playing with, like couple, like what was it, like a year ago that we played, where you were fighting first in my Lucius. You killed him, and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get those painted up for you." I do have this guy too. If you want to play any of my painted up pirates, ooh, pirate man. Yarr! I'm a pirate with an axe. He's got a flamethrower in his hand. His name is Huron Black. Oh, I need to repaint my Abaddon. That's what I need to do. Or get another Abaddon. I love my Abaddon. I love my veteran of the dark hog war, the evil man himself. Abby, this just spoiler. Oh, it's not like this guy. Oh, why do I give myself so much work to do? I always do this for things where it probably didn't. It's a facility if we need to get you one of those telemon dreadnoughts that they came in with. But yeah, is there any one thing I think needs to definitely get nerfed from the demons from EC is Seekers. I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's so funny because I love telling people what's on the data sheet because people usually bring like 2 units in demons, and then Slanesh stuff if they're going off the Slanesh stuff specifically, which it seems that Slanesh and demons is also going off really hard. Which makes sense. They've got some crazy combos in there. Um, but can't think. The Seekers, that's what it is. The Seekers are about 80 points. Okay, they're 80 points. They're T4, 2 wounds for 5, right? So they're mounted, which means they don't get hidden, but it also means that there's no like anti-mounted keywords in the game. So that's nice. But also they have 14 inches of movement, and they have the ability to scout 9 at the beginning of the game. So even without charging, they can move around like what is it? It's like 23 inches at the very start without having to do anything. And if you put them in the new mounted detachment, they can move through walls. And you're like, huh? So they could just be like, jump in wherever they need to be in the first turn, and you have to clear them. If you just don't clear them, which they're not super strong, they're pretty squishy. Um, they are almost like just normal Space Marine. And the nice thing too is that since they're not battle line, you can out OC them very easily. But Dev Wound Claws, lethals on the extra attack tongue from the thing that they're writing. They're nasty. For 80 points, they are nasty. They'll probably have to go up. I'm surprised that even Tormentors right now with Infiltrate and Sticky are 80 points. They probably could go up a little bit. They could probably go back up to 85. But you never shoot them because you want them to always have hidden. So unless you use the Frenzied Host strat, which I don't, because I forget to use those stratagems unless it's the melee phase, because I'm not used to having shooting stratagems. I'm used to just going, yes. I hit you with a sword. And that's why I'm playing Fearless. Because there's literally zero strats in shooting for me. And I go, good. Nothing to worry about. And then everywhere where there's silver on the big cauldron, I'm also gonna turn that black. Basically, I'm gonna go that with a matte black because it looks awesome. Yeah, these flawless blades are very nice. So I'm bringing a fan list of them. It's a lot of flawless blades. Will I get flawless blades nerfed? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. But it is what it is. Say la vie, right? I think my best bet is to just try and not worry about the silver today. I might get it done tonight before tomorrow. And if I do a late night stream, I'll post it on the socials. But for now, the best thing to do is to get those lighter colors on the gold and let the gold shine through on a lot of these guys. And then work on doing that silver the next time I bring it out. Yeah. So that's what the Seekers do. Oh, and then also on top of that, they get to re-roll their advances and re-roll their charges. Because yeah. Oh, and that threat range was without me adding their advances. So 23 plus 6, so 29 inches of movement potentially without charge. And you're like, what? How's that? That's not good. That should not be a thing. And you can advance and charge if they're within target of an EC unit. So, so that's not kosher. Yeah, they're nasty. It's one of those units that like I feel like you send them to scout your opponent's natural expansion just because they can. Let's see. My I'm doing something a little different because I'm not good at playing squishy, right? I'm a little bit of more of a like. There are a lot of people who are very good at out tacticing the board by just getting away from people. I'm the person who is like, no, I fight, I punch, I do the punch. And that is something I have noticed that is a reason why I'm bringing 18 flawless blades is because now I have 18 critical 3. I have 3 winged demon princes you have to get rid of first before you really have to worry about the flawless blades. And then on top of that, I've got Terminators coming from the sky and a Mauler Fiend that will punch up to death. And on top of that wasn't enough to worry about, then you've also got a giant crab device shooting you, where I can't I should be wounding on a 3 no matter what, unless you have a -1 to wound. That's my goal. Hitting on 2s, wound honestly, the list should be called hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s. That would be a funny list name. I call your stat check, and I raise you with flawless blades. Oh, and if you're a character, monster, or walker, Lucius, who is leading a unit of flawless blades, get full rerolls on his critical threes. It definitely, I would have, you would have to make him a 300 point character, but he's a little cheap. I think he could be 1300 or 130. What the heck's wrong with me? 1300. That's crazy. 120 is a fine price for him, I think, because you do have to take him with flawless blades now for him to be real good. So he kind of does need to be not super expensive. I just can't take those 5 uphill no pains to save my life. Oh boy. Come on, ball blade. All right. See, at the end of my workout program, you guys can see his abs. That's what I look like. That's what I look like if he took off my shirt right now. I'll take off my shirt. I promise. We'll just get squishy abs. The abs of champions. No, I've actually been really enjoying my workout stuff, especially when it comes to playing Warhammer as well. I feel like I have like more energy to play. I'm not getting as tired. My brain's not fogging up as much in the critical moments, and I'm not forgetting as many things just because I'm just able to be. I just have more endurance. So it's funny. It's like I'm training like I'm a professional athlete, but it's so that I can stand across the table from somebody and roll dice. What are you training for? Oh, I'm training for the Warhammer competition. I gotta lift all these minis and send them over here. It's always very tough. I actively recommend it. Who is calling me? Calling you can leave a voicemail unless it's very important. Looks like they're leaving me a voicemail. Hey, this is Ava from AT&T. Oh man, my discount. I'm good. Appreciate it, Ava. Nice of you to give me a discount. I'm Gucci. That clown in you Gucci Mane. This guy's eyeballs. He's funny. Oh, we're almost done. Uh, you know what? Right now, that's good. There we go. Now comes the fun part that we will probably end this stream a little. We might end this stream a little early at 12, depending on how I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little tired, so we'll see how we go. Because I'm pretty much gonna finish up with these gold dot here, and that should get us to about 12:30. So that should get us the time. I'd normally go a little bit longer, but I'm pretty tired today. So I'm gonna show you how I basically get all my right little dots on these. And it's honestly the easiest secret when it comes down to doing any of these. Because I'm gonna go back over this with a glaze of bright yellow to brighten up the gold and to basically have it, but I'm gonna have some of these highlights shine through in some of those key points. When I'm doing like rays of light, I like to do these little like cuts, like dots at the point. It's almost like hazard stripes, but you don't have to be as cautious with them. That's actually kind of funny. That was a good pun. I'm standing two puns. That's where we get some of the brightness on here. We don't do much. Thank you. We can create that same effect kind of across here. Just a couple of little bits. And that's one of my favorite bits about this entire process with this part is this is the part that takes the least amount of time and it's also the most of like, oh, it's finally coming together kind of like vibe. Like it looks so sick. And the great thing is there's just like so little that you have to do for it to look incredible. Just, like even there, like we only put like a couple of dots in places and did some cuts, and it looks like it's sheen. Like you can't mess it up by adding more. That's another great thing. It just is how bright do you want the metal. The more that you add, the brighter it looks. That's considerably more than the other one, and now it just looks shiny. It looks really shiny. So let's make this guy super shiny. This is one reason why I really like Emperor's Children as a faction in general, is because Emperor's Children has the most freedom to have individuality when it comes to your painting on your models, because the characters themselves are insane individuals, right? They're literally crazy. And it's all about individuality and sticking out in Emperor's Children because you want to get the attention of Fulgrim. That's how you basically level up and rank up in this version of Space Marines. And what's fun about that is it gives your design the freedom to go and say like, okay, well, I could make a uniform force if I wanted to. I could also not do any of that and make something where it's more um, individualistic as well, and it still works. I like doing individual armor schemes for each of my different guys. I also just haven't got it all done yet. So, I forgot to get this part. That's okay though. We can clean this up again when we glaze it. So we will glaze it later. Still looks cool though. This looks like a different color metal. Oh no, you're good, man. You are good. Enjoy your sleep. Sleep is important. Oh, sorry, my brain is just fried from being out, being not out late. I was late. I was out late partying like a proper bad boy. No, I'm sleepy. Uh, looks really good. Did I just screw myself by making it too shiny? I had a game last night where the guy brought his son to watch it. His son is doing EC, but I said you probably get a lot of value. Oh heck yeah, I appreciate that. I need to make some more EC videos. Very cool. I'm glad that they're liking it. Easy's a very cool faction. I hope that they've been excited for the rules. We have really fun rules. EC is probably the most fun faction for me to play, in all honesty, even whenever I'm like complaining about them. You know me, I love to complain. Wouldn't be a work in progress scream if I wasn't screaming about this guy like an old man. Game is good, and dang, nice to move fast and modern attachments. People like arrows, but those distracted as a dude, 7 inches? Jesus, that's a lot. Knights are scary. Like I feel like you either build your list so that you can deal with knights, or you just can't. Are you playing your CSM or what would you have out? Oh god, that shoulder pad looks so good, so bright. Dang it. That means I'm gonna have to do a lot. That's okay. We're just doing some blending later anyway, so be in the camera. That would probably help anybody see the painting. Excuse me. Well, I hope they can get something good out of the channel. I know my current infractor and stuff videos are very good for those. Also, the way that this guy got painted, his eyes got kind of a little bit sealed, and I think I'm actually going to keep it that way. It's like the flesh is growing over his eyes, right? Like some sort of like Daredevil kind of like vibe to it. He's got like super other senses, but he's got like a weird, messed up, like closed off eye skin, like the Resident Evil, Silent Hill. It's cool. Yeah, CSM, the mission we're playing, it basically needs to hold 2 objectives for 3 rounds. Basically, Fedemire, nice. Were you playing Take It Hold? Because that sounds like Take It Hold for sure. Our priority. We just managed to barely tone the objectives. Yeah, it's if they have the speed and they go off on those advances, like yeah, those knights can just get anywhere, especially when they can just go and because I think they can move over enemy units because they're monsters. That's crazy though. I will say those are always the best games when it comes down to something like that, where it's like, oh man, like You got a great roll on that advance. Ah, it's so close too. I was a 500 world mission. Okay, that makes sense. That's right. That makes sense. I always forget that they do different missions in 500 worlds. That's cool though. So he stopped you from burning it down. Unfortunate, but it's okay. As the forces of chaos, we will rise again. Rise again to give everybody shortbread cookies for chaos for the good guys. That's fun though. It's like the sabotage mission that you guys were. I think you were talking about it on Monday. I don't know. I've had tequila since then. Well, that might have been too much, but actually, that's kind of good. Yeah. Yeah, I made him really work for it though. And have you seen that list? It doesn't have the great ability to kill big knights. No, that's true.